You are listening to the Tiny Event Podcast with me, Dr. Nicole Sue, and my fiance.
Jez Watts. She's so fresh, so clean. I'm a science has been. All right, continue.
He's still doing it.
Yep. I got a whole
doing it.
list on my phone of lines I'm deleting one by one.
This is what he's doing with his spare time.
You can tell from her tone of voice, but she's not into it.
And today, we are going to be talking about microchipping.
Oh, cool.
Which is kind of a hot topic now with all the
absolutely.
vaccinations.
Yeah, we're talking about COVID, right?
Yeah. It drives me crazy how people think that the vaccination needle can microchip you.
Yeah,
because they've never ever seen a microchip needle in their life, and it's significantly bigger.
Yeah, it's huge. But no, I think anyone who has listened to previous episodes of this podcast has not made it here if they believe in the microchipping in COVID-19
Oh, probably,
vaccines,
that's true.
right?
That's
the moment we were like,
true.
oh man, it's not like, they're like, okay, screw you.
Yeah.
Fair
enough.
But yeah, microchips are much larger than you could put in a
Oh
vaccine
my god,
needle.
they're the size of a grain of rice.
Mm.
So to give you an idea, the needle that you use to give a vaccination is 26 to 23 gauge, usually, which is pretty small. To give you an idea, an insulin...
gauge doesn't give anyone.
No, I'm trying to... An insulin needle...
What is it in relation to my genitals? Larger? Smaller?
Oh, it's a hard one.
Yeah, it's difficult.
Yeah.
All right. It's pretty teeny tiny, though.
But everyone's had some sort of vaccination.
That's true.
Yeah, and like if you... Alright, that one is... So yeah, let's say it's a 23 gauge. I don't even know what gauge the microchip ones are because they're so friggin' enormous. But you could fit probably 10 vaccination needles in the center of a microchip needle.
Yeah.
So they're friggin' enormous, and if someone can't just microchip you against your will...
Listen, I feel like we're on a big tangent already. Like, let's talk about microchips you're supposed to get.
Because if you look at being microchip, you're gonna know about it.
Yes, conspiracy. All right, yes, conspiracy theories are conspiracy theories. What's the actual topic we're talking about today?
So what is a microchip? So it's an RFID chip, and it's the size of about a grain of rice.
Yep.
It is implanted in the subcutaneous space, so just underneath the skin.
Right.
And contrary to people's beliefs, it doesn't contain your phone number or anything like that. It actually shows up with a unique ID number. And what happens when you scan a microchip is that the ID number shows up in your scanner. You can put it onto an online database, and that comes up with your contact details.
Oh, so the chip only has one piece of information?
One piece, that's it. Yeah.
Is that all microchips?
That's all microchips.
Or certainly all pet microchips?
Yeah, all pet microchips.
Oh.
So it just comes up with a number.
I thought it would have had like, pet name,
that's
blood
what,
type,
yeah, that's what a lot of people think. Blood type.
Yeah, you gotta know the stuff.
But no, it just comes up with an ID number, and then you put the number into a system, tells you everything.
Oh, right.
The reason I think is because it has to be so small.
Yeah.
And now we've got one that's even smaller that's used in exotic pets. So the size is definitely a limiting factor. And also it doesn't transmit without the signal from the reader. So it's completely inert.
They're unpowered, right?
Yeah, so it's completely inert until it picks up that signal from the reader, and then it transmits that, and that's it.
Right.
And what it's used for, it's a type of permanent identification.
Mm-hmm.
So that number will never be replicated ever again. That's unique to that microchip.
Is that database... like the database that this is all listed on, is that an international database? Is there a national...
That's really annoying.
...category?
There's two or three national ones in Australia.
Why isn't there just one?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
Yeah. But it does differ from country to country. So, for example, a dog that's been microchipped in Australia is going to have a different form of number than a dog that's microchipped in the UK. So a lot of times if you scan a funny number, you go, oh, all right, this one's from somewhere else.
New Zealand or whatever.
Yeah,
sure.
Absolutely. And it's kind of good that you've got to, I guess, microchip these pets for travel, because a lot of pet travel, you're not actually having your eyeballs on your pet.
Yeah,
it's so important.
We moved states a couple of years ago. You lost your mind.
Oh my god, it was horrible.
Because they had to go in like cargo or whatever. Like you were on the same
I hated
plane,
it.
but...
I was on the same plane.
Yeah.
It was the most stressful, I think, 4 hours of my life.
Yeah.
And I've caught crocodiles in South Africa. That was much easier.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Well, yeah.
But yeah, the permanent ID is really important because we know that this number is never going to be replicated anywhere else.
Right.
Now, they can fail, but it doesn't change the number or anything weird. It just won't read.
So what is that? How do you retrieve the number? You said that the number is still there?
So if microchips fail, essentially they just don't transmit anymore.
Right. Okay.
But then you just microchip the pet with a new number.
Okay.
That is also unique.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's so important for you they're being transported overseas because one, you know that pet is your pet.
Yeah.
But also,
I would hope you would know anyway, but yeah.
Yeah, but also, you've got proof of ownership as well. So let's say something happens, there is a mix-up.
Yep.
That number is unique, and it should link you to that pet.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, if you get separated somehow. Like, because that's the thing, you know, like, luggage can go to the wrong place.
Yeah. Man, it freaks me out.
How crazy would it be, yeah, if you fly one place and your dog or whatever ends up getting sent to a different city.
Oh, that's so horrible. Yep.
Yeah.
But at least...
But yeah, if it's microchips, then it's like,
then
great.
It's okay. Like, we will be able to find you.
Yeah, sure.
That kind of thing. It's required in some jurisdictions for dogs and cats to be microchipped to be identified as part of their animal control policies and all that.
Oh, right. So if it's not microchipped, it might get put down.
Or you'll get a fine. So let's say if
right.
I'm not sure whether they're required. But let's say your dog's not microchipped, it gets out, goes to the pound.
Mm-hmm.
When you go to pick up your dog, you might have a much higher fine than you would have if the dog was appropriately microchipped and everything.
Yeah, right.
So it's important for that as well. I strongly recommend it. There's literally no downside to it. It's $50 to get a microchip. Is
it uncomfortable though? Like,
surprisingly, not a lot of animals actually realize. Like, I've microchipped both awake and anesthetized animals, and they don't seem to care.
Just no reaction.
Not really, no.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Okay, great.
Yeah. We much prefer to microchip them at the time of their desexing, so they're under general anesthetic anyway, and they don't notice it, and that's great. I still prefer to do it that way, even though I've microchipped awake animals, and they just kind of look at me.
Mm-hmm. I started microchipping open mic comedians. But
How's
just
that going?
I just wanted to keep track of, like, which of them should be put down.
Good Lord. Jesus Christ.
Sorry, yes, please continue.
Anyway, I strongly recommend microchipping pets.
Yes, pets.
And again,
they should all live forever. They're great.
They should live forever.
Their stand-up is
very good.
It's reasonable.
Very good.
Yeah.
But one thing, and this baffles me. Well, sometimes when I go, hey, we're getting him desexed, would you like to have a microchip? And they go, oh no, I don't. We're not planning on losing him. Who plans on that? No one's ever be like, yeah, I'm just gonna casually lose my pet. Of course, no one ever plans for that. That's why you should microchip them. I don't understand. The Tiny Vet Podcast is brought to you by Upilio. Sources for our topics can be found at upilio.io. Outro music by Matt Charleston.